Stop what you're doing for just a moment. Today we are sponsored by our friends at Top 11. They are a free-to-play football manager game available on your Android, iOS, web browser, and much more. It's a great way of testing your football knowledge, creating your own formations and tactics, training your squad to become the very best team possible. And they've also added a brand new feature, which is absolutely amazing. 3D live matches have been introduced, allowing you to get much closer to your squad than ever before. As a manager in Top 11, you run every single aspect of the club, whether that's signing players, picking the formations, running the training sessions. You are ultimately in charge of making your club win the major trophies. And on top of that, you get to play against other managers from all around the world. You'll be able to see your tactics come to life in beautiful animation and player details, giving you more information to help bring your team to the top. So what I want you to do is get this downloaded now. You can scan the QR code on the screen. You can click on the link in the description below. I've also given you my username as well. So if you want to challenge me, if you want to come and compete against me, feel free to link up with me on there as well. It's something I'm excited about. So make sure you get it downloaded right now. And I look forward to seeing you over there on Top 11. Top 11 is currently celebrating its 2023 release with an extra special launch season. Get your club ready now because it will be an action-packed campaign with your favorite football club. Welcome back to the terrace. Good afternoon, people. Lots of transfer news to talk to you about. Your phone calls to take into consideration. Your opinions as well always matter more. Make sure the like button is smashed. Make sure you're subscribing. Scan that QR code now to download Top 11. An absolutely amazing football manager game. And I'm going to be doing some sessions on there, and I want to play against you. So either scan the QR code or use the link in the description below to get it downloaded. How you all doing this afternoon? I want to know where you're watching from around the world. I want to know where you're at. I want to know what you're up to. I want to know what you're doing. So leave that in the comment section as well. We are talking about the Antony deal coming to fruition and coming to a conclusion. Big Man United outlets talking about 85 million, which is a 100 million euro deal to bring him to Manchester United. And on top of that, where his agent currently is very, very telling indeed. We're going to be looking at that as a particular deal. Of course, Paqueta hijacked, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool linked, West Ham United this close to finalizing that deal and getting it over the line. There's a Pedro Neto issue for Arsenal. It's going to take some big money to bring the Portuguese star to the Emirates Stadium, and 64 million is the first price we saw quoted. There are now claimed of 58 and 59 million, but Alexander Isak to Newcastle, done deal. He will be a Newcastle player unless something drastic changes. We're going to delve into that and much more and take your questions on what's going on in the footballing world. But what an interesting afternoon it has been news-wise. As we mentioned, Isak on his way to Newcastle United. This claim here says 58 million. European claims stating 64 million pounds to bring the Sociedad striker across, which is huge. Paqueta, 34 million pound bid launched by West Ham. There's a lot of talk. They think that deal is going to get done and essentially be over the line, which I can't lie, is a little bit, I don't even know if confusing is the right word to use. Like, legitimately, I don't know if that's the right word to use in relation to this, whether you want to say confusing or not. I've seen a lot of fans of Arsenal. I've seen a lot of fans of Liverpool this afternoon absolutely furious about this deal, really angry indeed that their club's not doing it. And it's West Ham. With all due respect to West Ham, that, you know, you've seen Wolves get Mateus Nunes. You're now seeing West Ham get Paqueta. Are some of these clubs, are some of our clubs, are some of the big boys here missing a trick? Are they missing a trick or not? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on that. We're going to delve into those deals a little bit later on the show. But first, look, we're going to start with Manchester United tonight because the Antony deal we know has been going on for a while. And some interesting news regarding that this afternoon. from Mike McGrath, who has stated that Antony's representatives are staying in England for the rest of the transfer window to help complete his dream transfer to Manchester United. The player wants to push through a move to United in the next few days. This very much echoes news that came out of the Netherlands last night. Echoes it massively that essentially this deal was coming to a head. This deal was coming in. This deal could happen. This deal was going to get done in the next few days. It's now obviously, as you can see, being quoted as that they're here now. The reps are not going to leave. They want to be ready and available to push this deal through as and when the clubs essentially get close to agreeing a fee. And they must be close to agreeing a fee. An 80 million euro bid was turned down a few days ago. There was talks a couple of days ago out of the Netherlands of 94 million pound being accepted. I think we reported that Thursday last week. That claim was made. And there's now talk of it going as high as 100 million euros. And there's a lot going on surrounding Man United. There's this element of we're linked to Gakpo, Antony, Charisma, De Jong, and a new right back before the Liverpool game. Now we're linked to a lot less. I think we have to wait and see what happens with Antony. I then have to think we have to wait and see what happens with AWB, with Cristiano Ronaldo, before other deals are kind of sanctioned. I do think AWB and Ronaldo have to leave before Gakpo comes in, and before a right back, namely Dest from Barcelona. But it does appear that this deal for Antony will get done. The agents are pushing hard. The player wants this move. It's just about getting that money agreed. There are also reports, Alex Crook this afternoon has said that signing both Antony and Gakpo is not ruled out. And this is what's really intriguing about this news. And I think it depends upon your persuasion. There are some that are stating that, well, yeah, this deal isn't going to happen. This deal is, for all intents and purposes, this deal is essentially one or the other. I don't know. I don't believe that's true. I have to say, after reading a lot of stories about it, I don't believe that it is one or the other. And the reason that I say that is because I want to make sure I say this to you in the right way. If they were that close in quality, I don't think Man United would drop 3 times the value on Gakpo to get Antony, because I don't believe that Ten Hag feels there is a differential of that amount. I think Antony may be the better player, but he isn't 60 plus. It's almost 60 million pounds better. You know, because if he was marginally better, well, you go and get Gakpo, you buy Tielemans, you buy Debt, you use that Antony money to fill 2 or 3 positions, not just one. So I've got a feeling that the Glazers will stretch those purse strings for Gakpo. I think they will look at potentially another right back. Whether they go for another midfielder is a completely different kettle of fish altogether. But I think there is a fundamental chance that both of those players come in. And I think Ronaldo leaving is a real big part of that. I really, really do. We've got news on Neto coming later. Stay with us, bear with us, and we'll get to it. Antony to United and Ziyech to Ajax. I mean, that very much could also that could be a deal. That's legitimate. Like, that could happen. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see. I wouldn't be surprised to see that news happen. We've seen that kind of circulating around the block. DJ here says, big up Terry and everyone in the chat. So what's new? Isak to Newcastle. What a signing for them. And Paqueta to West Ham. Yeah, look, we'll come on to that a little bit later, but you're absolutely right. When are we going to bid for Antony? My view is bids are already going in. Once one gets accepted, then United will make an official bid. And you'll go, what do you mean? How can you be bidding but not be official? There's unofficial bids and there's official bids. In my world, which I call reality, they're all the same goddamn thing. And I think Man United are very close to striking a deal with Ajax to get this deal over the line. Now, we all know that it is... we all know that I want to make sure I write this in the correct way. We all know the player's overpriced. We all know that United are paying anywhere between 30 and 40 million pounds above the asking price for this player, which tells you that Erik ten Hag must have colossal faith in him, which is why I don't believe that he views him and Gakpo as either similar quality or as an either either. There has to be something about Antony that he finds exceedingly special, and Gakpo's looked at as a very different type of player to him, because one's available for around 35 to 38 million, the other one near like 85, 90 million. There's such a huge differential, almost 60 million pounds more. There has to be something in that, as far as I can see, and as far as I am concerned. I really, really do. Good news, isn't it? Sorry, I thought you were talking to me. Does the Premier League have that much pull? Of course, the Premier League has that much pull. And it has a lot of money as well. The best league in the world, viewed by the most, watched by the most, spoke about the most, tweeted about the most. The Premier League, I don't care whether you prefer La Liga, the Premier League is bigger. I don't care if you prefer the Bundesliga, the Premier League is bigger. I don't care if you rate the Beatles or you don't like the Beatles. They're the biggest selling artists of all time. That makes them the biggest. You don't have to think they're the best. That's a preference. The best and the biggest are two different things. Right now, the Premier League is the biggest league in the world, and that is a huge, huge attraction for people. Big up TFT. Smash the like button and subscribe for more transfer window mayhem. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that, my friend. I really, really do. Gibbs White 50 million, Gordon 60, Isak 65, Fofana 85. Antony is expensive, but relative to the market, it is a massive overpay. Do you know what? Like, when we look at it at pounds, Antony is going to cost about the same as Fofana. If Antony was performing the way he's been performing in the Eredivisie in the Prem at his age, no one would laugh at 85 mil. Well, people would, but I think people could stomach it. It's because he's coming from Holland, and there is I don't know what the ratio is, but it feels sort of 60% to 40% of Eredivisie players fail or are never quite as good in the Prem as they are in the Netherlands. Of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Luis Suarez, Van Persie. I want to say Jaap Stam. I think he was bought from a Dutch club before he came to United. He could have been in Italy before. I need to go back and double check. But some have done massively well, but a lot of under it. Even the likes of Dirk Kuyt that had good careers. That man was prolific in the Eredivisie. He come to the Premier League and he become more of a workhorse player. So I understand people challenging it, but the money in football is gargantuan. The money in this game is huge. And because the money in this game is huge, the transfers are going to keep growing. All that slowed down the valuation of football players legitimately was COVID. I remember saying to people that what Man United paid for Harry Maguire 4 years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago, would eventually seem normal. It wouldn't seem excessive. Now, Maguire's gone on to be terrible. So people will look at that as a bad example. But you're looking at it as about how you feel about the player and not about the principle of spending. You're now moving into a realm where a player that's had a year and a half in the Premier who's young is going to could be a world record transfer fee in that position. Gibbs White, who I didn't even know was still at Wolves. You're talking nearly 50 million pounds that he is being sold for. The price of players will continue to rise at a rapid rate as the TV deal money and the sponsorship and the endorsements continue to grow. With social media being so prevalent, endorsements grow considerably. The new American TV deal is pumping around 40 to 50 million pounds per annum into every single football club. Therefore, transfer fees goes up. European clubs want their cut of the Premier League money by charging more, and Premier League clubs internally don't have the need and the necessity to sell. So they stick a premium on top of these players. And you've got the likes of Yeremy Pino at Villarreal that could be available for 35 million. You've got Paqueta that could be available for 34 million for West Ham. If Paqueta was right now at Everton, same level of performance, same hype around him, he would be costing 60, 70 million because Everton do not have a necessity to sell. Lyon drive a hard bargain. However, their business model is predicated on developing players and selling them. Without the sale of their developed young players, their business model does not work. So you have to look at these things through the eyes of finance and not how good do I think a football player is. When you look at it based on how good you rate a player and you put a player's price tag next to their ability, you're always going to feel frustrated. They're not always going to correlate. You have to look at the finances behind these deals and the reason for them. Once you do that, you understand and you don't get so frustrated. You don't get so annoyed at these things. Thank you very much here to Alexandra Lacazette for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace this afternoon. Thank you, my friend. That means a great deal to me. Thank you. Gakpo is more a goal scorer and Antony more a creator. Different players, but both can play across the front line. More options for Erik ten Hag. And I think that's a real key factor in this. That's why I want both. And Man United fans should be demanding both, because when we had the situation with the Glazers, well, we've still got the situation with the Glazers, but the protests, everybody's like, Glazers out, we need more. Don't rest on your laurels just because Manchester United won a game very well against Liverpool Football Club. You have to keep pushing for this. You really, really do. In other news today, as already mentioned, I want to talk about this deal as well. Pedro Neto issue for Arsenal. According to Portuguese outlets, Wolves have closed the door on Pedro Neto leaving this summer. The outlets state that the deal has zero chance of happening in this window, as Wolves want to keep the 22-year-old for at least the following season. Now, I think what's really interesting about this news coming out, in this way, being released, etc., in this way, I think from my standpoint is there's a little bit of showmanship in this. There's a little bit of, and I want to make sure I'm wording this in the right way because I don't want to be disrespectful. I think this is Wolves trying to raise that price. And as we spoke about on the terrace a few days ago, everyone's talking 50 million, 50 million, 50 million. Wolves want nearest 70 to get this deal done. And this is very much their way of pushing this out there. The agent will speak to people in Portugal. The Portuguese release the press. This will probably catch wind and fire with the wind will catch it, and it'll take the wind will catch the flames in Portugal and set fire in the press over here in the UK in the next few days. And they'll start reporting the same things. And then what you may hear are them reports of Arsenal Football Club looking to increase their bid, and they're still desperate for the player and everything else. And maybe in the end, a happy medium is 55 million, 57, 58 million pounds to get this deal done. But I will say this about Neto. This Neto deal is absolutely, in my opinion, essential for Arsenal to get done. They have to get Neto over the line. And the reason they've got to get this deal done is Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus are brilliant. But there isn't much else after that for Arsenal. And they've, one, got to guard against injuries, two, add more options, and three, push Saka and Martinelli. They need to feel under threat that their position in the team is not a guarantee. Neto already has a skill set that is better than Bukayo Saka in certain areas, beating a man, better, more direct in the way he drives, more direct in the way he runs. There's so many elements of him that Bukayo Saka doesn't have to the same level. It doesn't mean Bukayo Saka's bad. If you've watched my stuff long enough, you know how much I rate this young man. I think he's a sensation. But Saka can't feel comfortable at his age in an Arsenal team. He has to feel like there's people breathing down my neck for my position. Equally, he can be moved across to the left, and it's Martinelli that misses out. But I think Arsenal have got the potential to be title contenders this season. I believe they have the ability to keep growing, to get better, to become even harder to beat and break down. At the very least, they are a shoo-in, in my opinion, right now for the top four. And depending on how good Liverpool and how good City are, could mount some type of title challenge. I think Arsenal, if you look at it on a points basis, will be anywhere in the region of 20 points better. Maybe not as high as 20, 15 points maybe better than last year. I really do think they could be in those mid to high 80s. And what were they, like high 60s last season? That's off the top of my head. I might be off with that. But 15 to 20 points in that region better. They're already 9 points better off now than they were last year. So they've given themselves a massive start to the campaign in that way. But I do think they need the Pedro Netos. I do think they need the Yuri Tillemans. And, a player they were heavily linked with was Lucas Paqueta, who is now on his way, as you can see, to West Ham. And those talks are advanced. Those talks are progressing. Those talks are looking like they're going to close soon. And what I understand to be true, what I have just been told, and I've just received a message, I want to read this to you. I've just been told that West Ham will pay 34 million plus 8 million pounds of add-ons. And West Ham want to get this deal closed by Friday. The reason they want it done by Friday, they want him registered by then, is so they're able to hopefully play him in the next round of games. West Ham, of course, had a terrible start to the season. But that's another option for Arsenal gone. That was another player they were heavily linked with. So Yuri Tillemans, they've got to get done. Yuri Tillemans, they have to get over the line. Pedro Neto, Arsenal have to get over the line, in my opinion. It's going to be absolutely imperative for them to get this deal complete. They just simply have to do it. Should Jamie go for Sancho? No chance, mate. He's going to be a United legend. Hi, Terry. When does the next live show? Same time so I can finally catch up on the show. I missed this one again due to work. We don't have a set time regime. What's tomorrow, Thursday? We're obviously going to be live for the Champions League draw tomorrow. We'll have a phone-in show probably in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow morning we'll do that. Top 6 show is going to be on Friday today due to the Champions League draw that's out tomorrow. Yeah, really looking forward to that show. So make sure you are all tuning in. Bobby, easy. Terry, hope you're well. Any news on outgoings from United? AWB could be on his way out. We know that Eric Bailly is going to go on a loan with an option to buy. Ronaldo is still pushing for a move away from Manchester United, but there is nothing confirmed. Nothing confirmed as of yet in relation to that deal. But just to reiterate again, as we already mentioned, West Ham United have agreed a £34 million deal with £8 million of add-ons to be paid for the brilliant Lucas Paqueta. Now, West Ham want to get that deal closed, finished, finalized by Friday. They want to be able to get this guy into their first team as soon as possible. And I do think West Ham, I want to say this about West Ham now, I think they've signed an absolute sensational talent. It's not a guarantee. It never is a guarantee that talent is going to translate itself into the Premier League. You never have that as a guarantee in this game. But it's an excellent signing. And it shows the pull and the power that the Premier League is developing when Mateus Nunes and Paqueta, Bruno Guimaraes are coming to the Premier League. Alexander Isak coming to the Premier League. And the top clubs can't have all the best players. And I've been saying this for a few years. I was waiting, and maybe it's been, a building up of the finances and getting themselves comfortable. And with the new TV deal money from the USA, and plus that these streaming companies are getting more and more interested. Amazon Prime are already involved. It won't be long, in my opinion, until a big streaming broadcaster blows Sky Sports and BT Sports out the water with an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 billion pound being injected into the sport over a 4 to 5 year deal, which will give the clubs tens of hundreds of millions of pounds more a year in their kitties, meaning that there won't be a top 6 maybe in 6-7 years. There'll be a top 7, top 8, top 9. And I don't care if we're leaving the rest of Europe behind. It's not our fault that their product isn't as good as our product. But it's excellent to see West Ham pull off a deal like this. I think he'll really improve their team. I think he'll bring them something new and something different. 34 million plus 8 million pounds of add-ons for Lucas Paqueta. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on that deal for West Ham United. Absolutely sensational business. Sensational. It really, really is sensational. I can't lie. I can't lie at all. Do me a favor and smash the like and share button for us this afternoon, my people. Also, scan that QR code on my screen right now. Get that scanned, or click on the link in the live comment section or in the description below and support the Football Terrace by downloading Top 11. It's very important to us. It's a free game to play. It's a really good manager game, to be fair. Powered, as you can see, by Jose Mourinho when you download it. But you manage your team, you select the tactics. It's now got 3D play as well. It's absolutely top quality. It's on your phone, so if you're out and about, on a train, on the tube, on an aeroplane, you can get it played. I've also given you my player ID, the number for it, in the live comment section, in the description. So you can play against me if you want to have a little go against me as well. So get that scanned and downloaded either now or at the end of the show, please. Get the app downloaded as well. Thank you, Simon, for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. That means a great deal to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Abdul here. Abdul was a member. You didn't renew your membership. Abdul. Boo. He says, Terry, if you base league quality on player value market, the Championship is superior to the Eredivisie. Would you pay 100 million for a Championship winger with 12 GA, even if your manager wanted him? Yeah, you DM me that question the other day. And look, it's a fair point. It's a fair point, but that isn't a mark of Antony's quality. You already know that I think we're overpaying, so it's a bit of a silly question for me because I don't think he's worth the volume of money that we're paying, but we're not paying it because of the quality of the player. We're paying it because of the economical situation. On top of that, those championship players aren't competing in the Champions League. They're not also playing for the Brazilian national team. So if you had a player in the championship, I don't know how he would do this, but that was also in the Brazilian national team, in the Spanish national team, in the German national team, if they were also going out on loan once a few times a year to a Champions League team and performing well in the Champions League, I'd be prepared to pay more for them than a standard championship player. But you're conflating the value of one league versus another based on the qualities. You're ignoring the economical situations of all the football clubs involved. It's very, very different. The championship clubs don't receive anywhere near the kind of TV money or the Eredivisie teams in the Champions League get. And they haven't sold as many of their players as Ajax have done. So there's no necessity for them to sell financially. So those things are a factor. And I keep saying it on the terrace. I know it's boring, but if you ignore the economical elements of these deals behind the scenes, then your point holds water. But in reality, your point is benign. Hot take: Arsenal will have a Leicester-like year, and an Arteta masterclass will make Arsenal lift the Premier League trophy. Now that is a massive claim. Premier League trophy, you believe? Wow. Give me your thoughts and feelings on that, my people. I want to know right about now what you think and feel of that one. We're heading towards a time where top 10 teams will be literally separated by just 1 or 2 points. I don't think it'll ever become that close in the top 10, but we are going to get to a point where anyone can already beat anybody. Anyone can already beat anybody. Look at this weekend and look how many easy games Bayern Munich have every season. Look how many easy games the top 1 or 2 teams have in all of the top leagues in Europe, barring in England. And look, City might accumulate a mass of points, but they still find some of those games hard. The competitiveness of the Premier League is the best. The story of the Premier League is the best. How do we know this? Everyone tunes in to watch us. If our league was boring, doesn't matter how well you package it. No one's watching. No one's watching. It's as simple as that. I've become hesitant on Tielemans. I don't want him blocking a future move for a superior player, is what he said. Listen, that's just a nonsense. No player blocks the progression of another. It's a fallacy. It's a football fallacy. No one stops your progression, just you. If Patino is good enough, he will become an Arsenal player. If he isn't, he won't. Every now and then a club makes a mistake and lets a player leave. If you actually go through the amount of players your club leaves on a percentage basis, how many they leave that go on at a young age, I'm talking, not leaving in their mid to late 20s, that leave at 18, 19, 20, 21 and go on to be brilliant elsewhere. When you think, oh, I wish we kept them. Don't name me the 1 or 2. Work out the percentage of how many you release versus how many you regret releasing. I guarantee you less than 2% over a 5-year period, say. You're not going to know the answer right now. You have to go back and look at all the players you release and how many have gone on to be brilliant. And I bet you it's less than 5%, no higher than 2%. Honestly, like higher than 1%, lower than 5%. It'll be somewhere in that range. So if your young midfielders at Arsenal are good enough, it doesn't matter if you sign Yuri Tielemans. The same as signing Pedro Neto isn't going to stop Saka reaching his potential. If Saka's going to reach his potential, he's going to do it in spite of whoever else is in his team. If he isn't good enough to get if Pedro Neto keeps Saka out the team, Neto hasn't stopped Saka's progression. Saka wasn't good enough. If Saka's good enough, he'll keep Neto out the team. And that's the internal fights and battles you need to create a world-class team on actual match day. So for me, I never believe in that notion. It's already happening in Canada. Streaming services own football. With Amazon are doing it here. And listen, remember, Amazon could buy Sky out their contract with the chains they find down the back of a sofa in a staff room. You know, you look at the value of these streaming companies versus Sky. And by the way, Sky lost those Sky Sports rights. Sky would be dead. I think it was one of the reasons they were so against the Super League, because if the Super League happened and the TV rights weren't with Sky, Sky would have been finished. Absolutely finished. It really would have been. Terry, he's saying he hopes that. He hopes that. signing Tillemans will block the possibility of signing a better one like Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, I thought you meant something else. Sorry, maybe I misread that. That makes no sense, Terry. Again, your comment makes no sense. I don't know what you're referring to. I can't read it out and do anything, and can't speak about it. Let's take a look at some of the other news today. I want to get everybody's views on this as well. Alexander Isak, 58 million. 58 million pounds to West Ham United, to Newcastle, sorry, United. What is your thought and feelings on that? What is your thoughts and feelings on that, my friends? I want to know now. I'm waiting for the comments to come in. 58 million pounds. Decent striker, good quality, not world class, not top class. Very good though, very good. Nearly 60 million pounds. Mammoth signing for them. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on that. Jacobs here says good signing for Newcastle. Isak is straight in my fantasy team, is what Joshua's got to say here. Let's have a little look. Oh, future signings, Terry. Sorry, maybe I misread what you said there. Sorry, my friend. If I misread what you said, then I apologize. But still, I don't know what you mean by that. Newcastle will get European places. They could be scary good. Listen, they looked excellent against City. They still need to. I still don't think they're going to get. They won't get a Champions League place, but they could definitely get a Conference League or a Europa League place. The style of football is great. And listen, they bought Chris Woods in January, and look, they're already up their levels by signing somebody else. And like Callum Wilson is a good striker, but he's got them injury problems. You throw Isak into this team, honestly, like it is. They're doing bits, and we all knew they were going to do bits. You just look at the players they bought in, the quality of player. I mean, they were actually looking at Paqueta earlier on in the summer, and it's a shame they haven't been able to get him. I still think they might go in and throw a big bid in for someone like a James Maddison as well. They could throw a James Maddison in as well. They'd be a serious outfit for this year. Top 7 is definitely on for Newcastle, and to think that'd be their first full season with this money, new owners, new manager. What growth for them. And then from that point, a bit of European exposure that helps get another level of player through the door easier, more money coming in. They'll have new sponsorship deals by then. They're going places. They're really, really going places. They really, really are as a football club. Whether people like it or not, they are going places. Hugo here says clubs crying that the striker market is poor and Newcastle go and buy one of the most interesting strikers out there. Well, the market isn't so much poor as it is expensive, and it's about being prepared to spend the money that you want to spend. And I think that, this is the thing, 60 odd million. Some reports are saying 64, 65 million. This is why everybody's expensive. This is it, and if you've got to remember as well, something that drives the value of players. So KPMG are one of the leading people in this. One of the key factors that drives the price of a player is what they call sporting potential. So the sporting potential of Newcastle buying your players with the direction they're going in will yield what's expected, and what Newcastle will be selling to the players. Therefore, the vendor will say, well, I want more money, is progression into Europe, progression into the Champions League, winning Premier League titles. So the sporting potential of signing these players is massive. Therefore, there's a premium. Equally, if you're one of the top 6 and you're signing players, there's a sporting premium that will be added to particular players because of you think you're going to get back into the Champions League with this player. We're going to charge you an extra 15, 20 million pounds as a premium on that. So there's all these things that are included, and they are real. I mean, you can just read the KPMG report, and this is what the football clubs use to essentially regulate what they pay for people and how things work. So you guys have seen me go through this before on the terrace, and I kind of feel a bit like I'm preaching to the converted. Me, I remember when everyone's moaning about how much money certain players earn. I mean, have you factored in their commercial value? No, why would I do that? It's fucking relative. Thank you, Joshua, for becoming an official member of the terrace. Thank you very, very much indeed. I really do appreciate that, my friend. Terry, just a thought. Surely Frankie de Jong wouldn't take a pay cut and Barca can't continue to keep him. Look, I still think there's another twist and turn in this. I've said for about 2 weeks now, I don't think he's coming to Manchester United. I still think there's a twist and a turn, though, in the Frankie de Jong deal. I don't know in what direction. I don't know exactly how. I don't even know exactly how I mean. I just don't think it's dead. I just don't think it's dead in the water. I still think something's going to happen. I still think there's a potential for this deal the deal in itself to shock a few people. I really do. Abdul here says Isak is a great signing, even though his numbers aren't great. He provides so much in the build-up and link-up play. Well, this is his chance again. I'm not going to say a big club because Newcastle are not a big club yet, but this is his chance again in a league where he's going to have eyes on him. More people will watch him. In his first 3 Newcastle games, he'll be seen around the world by more people that watch him in a whole season playing in La Liga. So it's his chance to step up and show the world that he's good enough. And I'm sure Ali Usman, who thinks he's better than Haaland, will be buzzing about this deal. I'm sure he is. But a roundup for you all in terms of the news today, in case you're just tuning into the terrace. Antony's representatives will stay in England for the rest of the transfer window to help complete his dream transfer to Manchester United. The player wants to push through a move to United in the next few days. West Ham United have launched a £34 million bid plus £8 million in add-ons to sign the Lyon star Lucas Paqueta. Of course, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool were linked with him. There is newsroom reports from TalkSport from Alex Crook that United could still sign both Antony and Gakpo. The Portuguese press are telling us that Wolves will block and stop Pedro Neto leaving this summer and joining Arsenal Football Club. And as we already mentioned, Alexander Isak, close to his Newcastle transfer, a fee nearing £60 million for the former Borussia Dortmund striker, currently, as we know, at Real Sociedad. We want your views. We want your opinions. We are sponsored today, as you can see, by our friends at Top 11. Make sure you go and scan the QR code on the screen. How many of you have done it so far? That's amazing. 127 of you have scanned that QR code so far. So a big thank you to all of you. Don't miss out on the action, or click on the link in that description below as well. And in the comment section, let me know if you've downloaded it or if you're going to be downloading it after the stream now. Smash the comment sections up. Just write Top 11. You can write the number if you're going to get that downloaded, or if you've already done it during the course of this show. Thank you very much indeed. Back to your comments. Gakpo is good. I want him at Spurs. Isak will be unbelievable as a backup or even ahead of Callum Wilson. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's going to be a very, very good player for them. I really, really do. I think Newcastle will score enough goals but concede too many to finish above 9th. That's a fair take. Hi, Terry, Arsenal fan here. I personally think we aren't going to make any more signings this window with the way we have been not moving for Neto and Tielemans. I think it's a case of you trying to get players out first. I'm not saying I mean, I know a lot of people thought yesterday, Arsenal could be in trouble with FFP. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the truth. I don't think you're in trouble with FFP, but you have to manage it. You can't just keep buying. You have to sell and move people on. And there's a little bit of a bottleneck at the minute. Clubs know Arsenal have got to sell to buy more, so they're going to try and offer like the least amount of money possible because they're waiting for you to become desperate. It's a little bit of cat and mouse. I would expect at least one more signing. I think one more signing for Arsenal will happen still. Terry, if Isak flops, bring on eye test. My friend, of course, we're going to bring on eye test if that happens. What the hell happened to Dele Alli? His career is like someone who... Listen, let me talk about Dele Alli. Dele Alli's career has fallen away for one reason and one reason only. And that's because he stopped working hard, stopped trying, stopped developing, got lackadaisical, rested on his laurels. I'm in the England team. Everyone rates me. The man didn't work hard. And I'll say this phrase until the day I die. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. And that man is... this guy, I swear he got to like 50 Premier League goals before Lampard. This guy was on course. This guy had I was looking at this guy at a young age. I'm going, this guy, technically, look, he wasn't up there with the Gerrards. Technically, he wasn't there with Paul Scholes, but this guy was scoring more goals than Eden Hazard. And it was like, if he keeps working, if he keeps grinding, Dele Alli could become a legend of the Premier League. He'd probably have had to have left Spurs and gone to a winning club. No disrespect to Tottenham. But he had the world in his hands and he stopped working. He stopped trying. And he probably wouldn't admit that now. But I bet when he's older, you see it in an autobiography. He might not even be unhappy about it. He might be like, listen, got 10 million, 50 million pound in the bank. You know, I got paid loads of money from Boohoo a few years ago. I loved it. And I just thought, I'm happy with this. I don't need to work harder now. And, you know, he was on a good deal at Everton. He'll be on a good, I think he's gone to Turkey, right? He'll be on a good deal in Turkey. He'll probably be there for a few years and he'll go to the MLS and probably get paid 150 grand a week for 3 years. He's still probably going to earn another 7-8 million pounds in his career, retire with 15-20 million in the bank, you know, properties, probably invested in businesses and everything else, and live the life of Riley. Maybe he won't care. But as a football fan, it's a shame to see a player with such quality dwindle it away because he just didn't have the work ethic. You disagree, but the Premier League is ruining European football. Again, Premier League spends more than all the others combined. For me, it's as a football fan first, it's sad. Yeah, it's not our fault though that more people around the world want to watch us than watch anybody else. You know, if people started demanding in all other countries that they wanted to watch the other leagues, our money would fall away. It's on the other leagues to catch up. I don't think it's ruining European football. It's on them to catch us, you know. Agreement found between Arsenal and Nice for Pepe, according to at Nice Martin. Could see some quick movement for Neto. Exactly. Listen, that's the kind of deal that would happen, and then you would see a player leave and go out the other way. So, yeah, look, from my standpoint, I think you could definitely see that happen. No doubt about it whatsoever. Hi, Terry. Am I being delusional expecting Arsenal to win a trophy this year? I don't think expecting them to win a trophy is delusional. You should have, you know, your manager's been there, what, 3.5 years, spent 300, 400 million, could spend even more between now and the end of the window. If you don't have an expectation on your manager at that point to win a trophy, when are you ever going to have an expectation on them to win a trophy? You absolutely have to. Look, we're going to open up the lines now for you to phone in and have your say on the football terrace. I want to hear from you, my people, right about now. I need that like button smashed out, and I need you subscribing to the football terrace. Very, very important indeed to us that you get that done. That you get that done. Oh, 2.5. Okay, 2.5 years going into his 3rd year. You've got to be expecting the manager to start winning things. He's already won an FA Cup, and you're much better than that now. So, of course, you expect. Of course, you judge it contextually. You get like Liverpool away, followed by City away in the round 3 and round 4 of the FA Cup, and you go out. No one will be angry. You get Burnley at home, followed by West Bromwich Albion away, and you go out. People will be annoyed. It always has been, and it always will be contextual. Terry, do you think the quad will ever be possible? Yes, it almost happened last year. It's always possible. But I'll be honest with you, when I see like the teams that could do it, so this year, probably only one team that could do it, I would say City. Like, I'd love to see City go out early in the League Cup because then the quad's over. Does that make sense? Like, and I as a Man United fan, obviously we own the treble here. I do get a little happy when I see one of the teams that could potentially do a treble go out of a cup competition, Champions League, FA Cup, because it means that can't happen, and it's an achievement that's exclusive to my club in England, and I want it to stay that way. I really do want it to stay that way, and it's like being invincible. You know, you've got Preston. I think it's Preston and Arsenal were the 2 clubs in England that have been invincible in the Premier League or the old version of the Premier League. So nobody wants, you know, those 2 football clubs don't want anybody else joining that club. You know, because you want to be the only ones that's done it. Yeah, the Hussein video was good. I know it was good. It was funny as well. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. We're going to go to some of your calls and some of your comments in a few moments. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. You know, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying out there. Hang on a sec. Okay. Someone's DMing me about my user. I'll find my user handle for your for top 11 when you've got that done. Thank you to everyone. That's 190 scans now of the QR code. Absolutely out this world. Thank you very, very much indeed for doing it. First on the show with me today, we've got True Red Devil. What you saying, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, Terry?
I know, long time no speak. What's on your mind?
I'm all right, man. I'm buzzing, obviously. Absolutely buzzing after the Monday night win, no? So, yeah, just wanted to touch a little bit on the Antony bid. A lot of rival fans, Man United overspending, this and that and the other. I don't understand where that's coming from because the last I checked, Man United fans were also complaining that the idea of having young players up and coming should be the forefront of the club, right? So that should come with the price. And if the price to pay for a player like Antony is 80 million, then I'm all for it, man, because the idea of a prospect of a front four of Antony, Langa, Antony, Martial, Antony, and then Rashford, and then Sancho, it's a front five. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, listen, listen, I love it, and the price is more than I'd want to pay. But at the end of the day, I prefer the player overpriced than the player not at all. So, as a football fan, you know, as long as it's a player that the manager wants, and you know, he really wants to have in at the football club and stuff like that. Do you feel like the fans have still got to put pressure on the Glazers in terms of, you know, looking at Gakpo, another midfielder, a right back? It can't just be Antony, and that's our summer over, surely.
Oh no, that doesn't mean the foot is off the neck of the Glazers at all. This is just me from a football fan perspective in terms of what's on the pitch. But of course, we have to consider the Glazers, because what happens then even if they do get us Gakpo or the other guy, right? What happens is they always react to pressure. They're not proactive; they're reactive. So every time there's a problem, they react, which is normal. I get it; it's business, right? The customers are complaining, so we're gonna react. But then I don't want a reactive owner, honestly. But then, to be fair with you, Terry, I don't know if it's even possible to get them out of that position, because Man United fans as a whole, because I'm part of it, we suck it all in. We suck it all in. I know my boy right now is back, Martial, and you see what's going on. I love him. I don't have a problem with the love he's getting, but we suck it all in.
Played well, absolutely. My friend, great call. Thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say, Russell.
Nice one, Terry. Have a nice one, brother.
Cheers, bro. Thank you. Eye test is here now. I know he's here to speak about Alexander Isak to the Premier League. What are you saying, bro?
Yes. So before we talk about the big one, I wanted to talk about the Dele Alli move, because I heard you mention it. Yeah. Because I heard you talking about the it's only his fault, and I've seen a lot of social media people bringing up that Jose Mourinho clip where Jose Mourinho told them, "Listen, yesterday I was 20, now I'm 52." So everyone's getting onto Dele Alli and saying, "Listen, you've wasted your career." And I was part of those people who were saying that, and I was like, "Listen, Dele, you've wasted your career and all of that." But then the more I think of it, and the more I hear other points of views, I realize why are we getting onto him so much? Because if you look at it if you look at the bigger picture, if you look at where he started from, how many people dream of being where he is? Maybe like he's not gonna, I don't know if he's gonna be thinking, "Oh, I could have done so much more when he's older," because maybe he's done something crazy for himself. Like he's probably dreamt of doing making all of this money when he was younger. Like he's making a lot of money right now. He's done well for himself. How many people would dream of being where he is right now? So how can we say that? How can we say to Dele Alli, you wasted your career?
Yeah, well, look, again, I said that earlier. Like, he may be content and he doesn't care what anybody else has got to say or do. But as football fans, we typically look at it from the point of view of, if I was in your position, this is what I do, because I love football so much. And that's how you assess and judge everything. I remember working in the bank, and you'd meet people in decent jobs, but they were in their 60s and they're about to retire, and they've been in that role for 50 years. And I used to sit and think, did you not have more ambition to go to another level? And then you look back and think, well, but I'm judging them based on what I want, and that isn't the right way of doing things. So I do get that. I do get your point there. You do make a good point. In terms of Alexander Isak joining the Premier League, I know you. I mean, you were the guy that said he's better than Haaland. How well do you think he's going to do at Newcastle United?
I think he's going to smash it. And just for anyone that doesn't know, I'm the first person in the whole of the UK to ever mention Isak. I found Isak. I'm the one who scouted him. I'm the first person in Football Terrace history, the first person to talk about Alexander Isak, to mention him up, to bring him up, the first person in the UK to talk about him. I found him, yeah, and I'm so happy he's come to the Premier League now. It's his time, and we've been working on the deal for so long. I've been talking to him for years. Like, I could prove it right now on the DMs. Look at the date. From 2019, I've been talking to him on the DMs.
Who was that to?
This is Alexander Isak on Instagram.
Oh, you were messaging him? Yeah, did he message you back though?
Back in the days.
Did he message you back?
In the days.
Did he message you back?
Don't worry about that. But I've been talking to him for years. I've known about him for years, and I'm so happy he's in a Premier
We are
League.
going to release this clip. We are releasing this clip. Alexander Isak, if you're watching, please message my guy back. This guy's been backing you. He says you're better than Haaland.
From day
Message him
one.
back.
From day one, I've looked into him because he comes from my country and all of that. I've been scouting him, and I believe he's gonna smash it in the Premier League.
You're from Sweden as well.
No, Eritrea.
I know. I won you.
Yeah.
I won you. You think you'll do well? Do you think he'll outperform Haaland in the Prem?
I think so. I think technically he's a better player because you see the PR around Haaland is crazy. Because, for example, let me call out Sky Sports, because if you look at when Haaland had 7 or 8 touches against Bournemouth, look, they released a video titled "Does it matter that Haaland got 8 touches against Bournemouth?" But when Lukaku did it, they were slating him. I can't remember the title, but I saw they released a video when Lukaku did it. He got 7 or 8 touches. It was a completely different title, slandering Lukaku. The PR around Haaland is crazy. He's a great goal scorer, but technically he isn't great. And we've seen it since he's joined the Premier League. I think Isak has more to his game. He doesn't only score goals. His link-up play, his dribbling, his hold-up play, he's the complete package. He's not just a goal scorer. So I think he will do better than Haaland. Maybe not more goals, but I do believe he's a better player. He has way more to his game than Erling Haaland. And I think he would have been a way better signing for Man City. But for Newcastle, I'm telling you, people need to watch out for Isak. I've been scouting him for years. I'm telling you, this is the time now. I've been waiting for this.
I know you are. And when I saw the news today, you were the first person I thought about. I bet my guy eye test. And it's good to see you actually turn your camera on now, my friend, as well. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's and we've got about the same size forehead as well, which is good to see, my brother. But nice. Your head looking good. It's a big forehead like me. My forehead's always been big. Like, I got my hair transplant done. People are like, you still got a big forehead. I'm like, yeah, I've always had a big forehead. But yeah, listen, I'm only messing with you. Now, listen, I think he's going to be an interesting sign-in. I'm excited to see him in this Newcastle system and everything else. Look, being better than Haaland, that's a whole different, like, kettle of fish. It really, really is. But we'll kind of see what happens from there. Listen, I wanted to ask you about Man United quickly. In relation to Antony, what's your thoughts?
Antony, 100 million for Antony. If you look at Mason Mount at 17, he got more goals and assists in the same league. Mason Mount was playing in the Eredivisie at 17. Look at his stats, yeah? And look at Antony at 22 years old. 100 million for Antony. I think Depay is available. How much would Depay be? 20 million. Go for Depay. I think we're overpaying for him, man. That is ridiculous.
I think we are overpaying, but if he comes in and scores the goals, creates the goals, and is impactful and everything else, then no one will care. The thing is, at this price, he has to deliver. Does that make sense? He has to deliver.
What's the likelihood? He's not even doing it in the Eredivisie. He's not getting double figures in goals and assists. He's not doing that. So why are we paying 100 million? We could do way more with that money. Get the pie. Get a midfielder to play next to Casemiro, because I think Casemiro alone won't work. You need someone next to him. So get someone like Antony. I don't get that move. I think it's a waste of money.
I understand. Listen, I think it's a fair opinion. I don't know if it's only a waste of money if he doesn't deliver. It's definitely overpriced, and I'm gonna stand here and agree with you on that one. I have to. I've been saying it the whole time. I want to pay less than that, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, my friend. Listen, my bro, thanks for coming on, my friend, and having a chat with us. And we'll speak again soon. Take care, my guy. Thank you very much indeed. Viewers, make sure you're smashing like and share buttons for us. Very, very important that you do that. Let's do some more of your comments that have come through here. I'm not a fan of Newcastle. It would be one. They have wonderful fans. I like to see them get rewarded. If João Felix is 120, Antony is worth it, bro. Nah. We'll see. We'll see. Somebody stole the Glazers' credit card. Oh, what? And they're spending it. Yeah, the manager's got just done it. Yeah. 1 second. I'm just writing something out here. Sorry, people. I'm just typing out a tweet. Yes, I get you on that. 7 goals in 34 appearances. I love your smile, bro, but get your facts right is what's been said there. Fair enough. Isak is on the phone to the police right now. Can't really show us some DMs. He didn't message him back. Bro, can't you have Colleen make an... No, I can't make Colleen do OnlyFans. Like Colleen, I don't own Colleen. Do you know what I mean? My name's not Andrew Tate. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't own women. Like, can't be doing that. He can't say nothing to me there anyway. I've heard he's been banned. Can I drop the link again? Yes, I can drop the. I'll drop the link again in the live comment section for people if they want to phone in and have their say. I'll spam it so you can't miss it. There you go, people. Get that done right now. United should be signing Frankie de Jong, Antony, Gakpo, Pau Torres, and Jude Bellingham next. Come on, like, very unlikely to get. Listen, if Man United have a really good season, then Jude Bellingham may become an option. If Man United look good, the feeling's good, there's progression, United can sign him. But it's going to be a hard deal to get done. No doubt. On the show with me next, we're going to go to Michael. Michael's here with us. What you saying, mate?
All good, all good. I wanted to actually talk about Alexander Isak because this guy is an absolute baller of a player. And Newcastle have themselves a serious player. I know the fee might be crazy to some people, and he only scored 6 goals last year in La Liga, but when he's on form, because last year he was not in form, he missed a lot of great chances for Real Sociedad. When he's on form, he is a fantastic striker, and he did well with Sweden. I've been following him since 16 years old when he made his debut. He flopped big time at Borussia Dortmund, but I think Newcastle, they're doing great business, and if they get a right winger, I don't know, they could be top 6 team. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle can do that because they have all the pieces to make a big leap into the top 6 in a way. And Antony for 100 million. Look, if Darwin Núñez, I love Darwin Núñez, I support Liverpool. If he's going for 80 million euros, not many people can complain about that because all the European clubs understand. All right, Premier League, you guys have the money. We're just gonna keep raising the price and keep raising the price until we seem it's satisfied that you reached our deal. So look, European clubs are being smart and knowing that Premier League clubs will pay for anything at this moment.
Yeah, look, I could not agree with you more, and that's why when people moan about the money, I'm like, they call it like it's not English player tax, it's Premier League tax, whether it's an internal deal or an external deal. It's the Premier League's money. And by the way, if all the money fell out the Premier League and we went almost bankrupt and we were earning £200-300 million a year less on average across each club, the transfer fees would eventually drop and they'd fall down and everything else. But you've also got to remember, like, we're going to get to a point soon where players are going to start signing shorter deals, or they're not going to renew deals as much. There's going to be a lot more free transfers. But that doesn't help the clubs. You look at Memphis Depay. Man United looking at Memphis. Man United are trying to offer Barca 10 million euros as a backup option as the other people are looking at. Because that way their hope is that they won't agree to cancel Memphis's contract. But Memphis wants the contract cancelled because that 10 million that Man United are prepared to pay Barca, he will ask for in extra wages and agent fees, which is why net spend, it isn't 100% like wrong in some aspects. But as a general rule, it's wrong because if you were to sign Memphis for free, people go, look, 0 net spend. But in fact, you spend more on salary, you spend more on agent sign-on fees. The money you would have spent buying him goes into that deal, you know? So, you know, you look at the agent fees that City had to pay for Haaland. I think it was 25 million to Raula's company and 25 million to his dad. That's 50 million. Plus the 60 odd million pound buy. It's a 110 million pound deal. But the money was spread between agents and club, not all to one club. So it's a fallacy that free transfers or lower level transfers are as cheap as they're made out to be, which is why sometimes fans get a bit confused. But look, it's going to be interesting to see Isak in the Premier League doing his thing, my friend. Mike, great call. Thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Next on the show, Mo's here with me. What are you saying, Mo?
How's it going to you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm very well, my friend. I'm very well. £94 million bid for Antony. Total agreement reached with the player. What are you saying?
I'm not happy about the deal, to be honest, Terry. It's way too much for a player. I think he's a £50 million player at best. 94 million. Is he a 94 million pound player? No. Is he a 75 million pound player? No. Is he a 65 million pound player? No. So I think Man United, this shows that the football club doesn't have a footballing structure. It's evident. It shows that John Murtagh is not up to the job of managing the football club. It shows that Richard Arnold is not up to the job of managing this football club. I think what's happened is, Terry, is that next year's transfer budget. Have they used next year's transfer budget to bring Antony in? And the next year, when they go to strengthen again, they're not going to have that much money left over if the Glazers don't leave. I mean, where's the money for De Jong? I think the De Jong deal is dead. And I think they've gone for Antony. I just don't see the planning for Man United. I mean, they won on Monday and fantastic. But where is the long-term vision? I know back the manager, but it's a £94 million player. Is he a £94 million player? I don't know. I haven't seen him play. I've only seen him in Ajax. I mean, where's the due diligence done on this player? I know Erik Ten Hag wanted him, but sometimes, you know, you have to put your foot in and say, look, Eric, we want to back you, but £94 million player for this player, we think money could be spent elsewhere. But then Ten Hag will turn around and say, well, you guys don't know fuck all about football anyway. You guys are muppets. So what do you know?
Mate, look, I look at it this way. I totally agree with where you're coming from. He just has to, if he comes in and he's scoring, creating and dominating games on that right-hand side, and there's suddenly balance to our attack and we improve exponentially, no one will ever mention his price tag. But if he comes in, and it isn't even the GA, if he comes in, you know, like a Luis Diaz come in, if he comes in and does a Luis Diaz, if he comes in and does a Kulusevski, no one's going to care about how much money we paid. By the way, it's actually £78 million, not £94 million. You've added nearly £20 million on there. It's actually, you know, you've got to think it's only going to be about 10, 12 million pounds more expensive than Luis Diaz, right? And I'm not suggesting that makes it better, but if he comes in and he's impacting games, driving us forward, no one will care. That's what he has to do, though, almost straight away, because otherwise the scrutiny on him is going to be immense.
It could be Terry. It could be Terry history repeating. It could be history repeating itself again with a certain French player that came to our football club all those years ago with the haircuts and the earrings, the diamonds and the flashiness, and it could be that situation again where, you know, it could be that as well, because you know these pundits. You mean like the pundits going at him? Yeah, listen, the pundits will be. Listen, look at Lisandro Martinez. He's height. Yeah. And by the way, I use Y-Scout. I've gone back and looked at every headed challenge that he's gone up for. He's got his head to every ball, so I don't really understand how he's lost any. But it is what it is, my friend. Mo, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Top man, thank you. Abdul's on next. What you saying, Abs?
Yo, Terry, can you hear me clearly?
I can, my friend. What you here to say?
Yo, first of all, I wasn't actually, I hadn't actually subscribed to be a member. I was gifted a member.
I know. I was playing, bro.
Yeah, and it was twice actually. 2 months in a row, I got membership gifted. But I might become a member too. Don't worry. I'll become a member soon. I just gotta get my finances right. I have to register the membership.
I was only messing, but yeah, I appreciate that, my bro. What do you want to say, my friend?
Nah, I just don't, Terry. Like, I don't get the thought process behind the whole Gakpo. Maybe I see it, maybe because he's like reasonable price, but like I'm trying to put myself into Erik Ten Hag's shoes. If he is this desperate to get Antony, is it because he is very unhappy with what he has? Because if you're bringing in a player for almost 100 million euros, Terry, you're not bringing him in to sit on the bench. You're just You feel me? So my thought process is he really unhappy with Sancho? But that doesn't make sense because he's been playing good in preseason. Or is it Rashford that he's very unhappy with? Because I just can't see him coming in and sitting on the bench. I can't see that for the amount of spending.
I have a feeling, and it's just a feeling, and like as we all know, feelings can be wrong. I think this is a Cristiano Ronaldo replacement. I think he wants to use this season Martial and Rashford in the central roles. Sancho will go out to that left-hand side. Antony will be on the right as a standard. You'll then have the likes of, you'll have rotation between those players, Alanga that can come in as an example, Ronaldo maybe coming off the bench. I think that is what he is going to try and do. If he plays with a fluid front three that are interchangeable during games, that's easier to do without Ronaldo, because Ronaldo doesn't have the legs to drop out to the right-hand side for 20 minutes and run a wing, where the others do. Does that make sense? So that's what I think he would look to do. And he might also go for Gakpo as well. Now, Gakpo will come in, and I think Gakpo will be a backup option behind those three that I've mentioned, but with the talent to turn around and say, listen, Rashford's Sancho, if you two don't perform regularly like you did against Liverpool, you'll be out the team. And that's what we need at Man United. Like this notion of guaranteed starters. I hate all that crap. Like we need to do this. I agree though, 100 million euros or 94 million, they're now saying about 78 million pound is too much. I think he's max a 50 million pound player in terms of his overall valuation. However, if he comes in and delivers a Man United win, he scores or he creates and he's a pivotal part, I can guarantee you by the World Cup, if this guy comes in and by the World Cup, scored 4, assisted 5 or 6, but has been pivotal in us winning games, no one will talk about his price tag. No one.
But
what they'll actually say if he's good is, well, your manager can't develop players. Look, he had to spend 94 million. He had to buy success. That's what they'll say, right? So it'll either be he's a flop at 94 million euros, or you have to buy success. Your manager can't even develop. Either way, he will be attacked. So I'd rather him be attacked for being a success, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I agree with what you're saying, but I mean, you could say that like the whole your mentality and your thought process in that. I find it a little bit faulty because you could say that about anybody. Like you could go spend 500 million on a player and say, "Oh, if he turns out to be like Messi, nobody's gonna complain." You feel me? So that's what
I didn't. Again, you're taking it too far. I didn't say if he turns out like Messi. For me, if he comes in at 78 million, we'll do it in million pounds. If he comes in at 78 million, and on average for the next 3 years gets 35 GA across all comps, or maybe 30 GA. But he's pivotal. It isn't just about stats. He is 80% of the time a driving force in Man United winning games. He dominates the right-hand side. He entertains the fans. He's influential. No one will care about his price.
Yeah, that's true. And Terry, like my whole point is, and even like with my club, I was unhappy with how much we paid for Rafinha. And I'll go back to why. It's because for me, for me personally, I know it's not like this in the real world because you also pay for potential. You do pay for potential. There is no doubt about it. But for me, when you're paying that much money for a player, they have to be proven to an extent, in my opinion. And I just feel like there's a lot more proven players out there for cheaper prices. So I'm confused as to why. Like,
I understand that, and I think Ten Hag. I mean, look, people. He's played one game so far, so I'm not going to get carried away. But he's one good game so far. But he wanted Lisandro Martinez or Timber because he wants players that understand how he wants to play football, because he believes it will bring his style to life quicker, because he's a Man United manager. He doesn't have as long as Arteta, in my opinion, to get things right. People will be on him. And look, I don't disagree with most of what you've said. It's all going to be about deliverance. And it's as we say, when we signed Bruno Fernandes for that first 18 months, no one mentioned he cost 67 million pounds because he scored all them goals and assisted all them goals and nobody cares. And if Antony comes in and does what Kulusevski's done at Spurs, does what Luis Diaz has done at Liverpool, there won't be a soul on earth that mentions his price. It will, like I said, it will go the other way, and they'll try to turn it into a negative for the manager. Oh, yeah, he ain't like Jurgen Klopp, who can buy an £8 million player and make him world class. He had to buy the quality. That's what people will say. But that's the nature of success.
Can I just ask one last quick thing? Just one last quick thing. On the whole De Jong thing, Terry, like I'm very confused from a Manchester United standpoint, because you guys have been chasing him all summer, of course. But why is it that you're now saying? Why is it that the club is now finally saying that it's not going to happen? Because nothing has actually changed. Like nothing has changed.
I don't know. There's a few theories. These are theories, not my thoughts.
Yeah.
I think a Champions League club is circling, and Man United know that if Chelsea or if Bayern make that move, then we're dead in the water. So if we pull ourselves out now, officially with PR, we're not going to be rejected. Does that make sense? Because, well, we'd already pulled away. That's what they're probably doing. Or the other side of it is gamesmanship. Well, we're going to pull out. We'll make maybe the player or Barca feel a bit of pressure, and we'll see what happens. Because essentially, there is a week and a bit left to get that deal done. And there were some people, by the way, that predicted that it would literally go down to the wire. So, look, I don't think we're getting in, whether we're pulled out or we're still officially in. And again, it was only yesterday, Sky Sports, the ones who today have broken news that everybody's talking about, said that we're still in for him. And then this morning, Laurie Whitwell says, and remember, listen to Laurie Whitwell's words, considered done. The pursuit is considered done. A lot of the aggregators wrote it down as the deal is dead and it's over. That isn't quite what the journalists said. The journalists have left the door ajar in case Man United go back on, or in case there's a change. And listen, you sign Antony, you sign Gakpo, you sign Dest. You've got Casemiro that's in the team. You play well again this weekend against Southampton, and the world might look a little bit different for everybody. But we will see. I don't think United will get him from this.
No, but just quickly on Dest, Terry, Dest is a horrific player. You do not want that. He is horrendous. Dest, he ruined my reputation because I tried hyping him up when he joined, and he's a bum, Terry. You do not want Dest. Dest, I'm telling you, first of all, he couldn't even start for Ajax. He was a bench warmer, of course, but he was young. His defensive positional awareness is disgustingly bad. Disgustingly bad. And Terry, he doesn't want to leave, bro. He doesn't want to leave us alone. And actually, Xavi, he told him, you have to leave. I'm not gonna play you. And we don't have a right back right now. We're playing without a right back because he's our only right back, and he doesn't want to play him. So we're playing centre backs at right back. That's how bad he is. But I just wanted to say on the De Jong thing, De Jong is unsettled, bro. Like, did you see his performance at the weekend? He was horrendous. He was horrific.
Of course, he's unsettled, and I until this thing is resolved one way or the other, I think that will remain. But there's only one more game for you guys with him playing. Well, you've got a friend. There we go. Listen, Abdul, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. I really appreciate it, buddy. Top man.
Take care.
No worries at all. And listen, everyone that's tuned in today, scan that QR code now. What we at scan wise? Look at that. 244 people have scanned the QR code. So thank you for downloading Top 11. You can use the link in the description below as well to get that done. Make sure you smash the like and share button before you leave today. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Stop what you're doing for just a moment. Today, we are sponsored by our friends at Top 11. They are a free-to-play football manager game available on your Android, iOS, web browser, and much more. It's a great way of testing your football knowledge, creating your own formations and tactics, training your squad to become the very best team possible. And they've also added a brand new feature, which is absolutely amazing. 3D live matches have been introduced, allowing you to get much closer to your squad than ever before. As a manager in Top 11, you run every single aspect of the club, whether that's signing players, picking the formations, running the training sessions. You are ultimately in charge of making your club win the major trophies. And on top of that, you get to play against other managers from all around the world. You'll be able to see your tactics come to life in beautiful animation and player details, giving you more information to help bring your team to the top. So what I want you to do is get this downloaded now. You can scan the QR code on the screen. You can click on the link in the description below. I've also given you my username as well. So if you want to challenge me, if you want to come and compete against me, feel free to link up with me on there as well. It's something I'm excited about. So make sure you get it downloaded right now. And I look forward to seeing you over there on Top 11. Top 11 is currently celebrating its 2023 release with an extra special launch season. Get your club ready now because it will be an action-packed campaign with your favorite football club.